This trip for me has been such a journey. Honestly, coming up here to Kings Dominion, never have ridden a roller coaster before in my life. I was freaking out, like seriously freaking out. And a lot of it was because I had never done it. I didn't know how I was going to feel. I didn't know what to expect. I just didn't have the experience, and so because of that, I was scared. So scared that, you know, in times past, I would just not go on rides. I would just not even ride the roller coaster at all. But I learned a lot in overcoming my fears. With every roller coaster, every ride that I went on, I learned so much more about myself. And honestly, it took me kind of back. I kind of stepped into the spirit with it, and I really saw how this relates to life and spiritual things. One of the biggest things that I realized in this whole thing was, well, I can't even say one of the biggest things, because there's so many things, but I know for a fact that when I would get into the line of a ride, that's when my stomach would drop. And all these negative thoughts would come over me, and they would just run through my head. There were so many times that I just wanted to leave the line, but I knew because I had people with me that I had to do this because I said I was going to do it. I said I was going to overcome my fear, and so I had to stick to it. And that was part of it, but I learned that, like, with these roller coasters, the roller coasters here at Kings Dominion, they have the Intimidator, they've got Shockwave, they've got Volcano, they've got something called the Drop Zone. All these roller coasters symbolize certain things that take place in our life, certain things or occasions that will happen to us that could very well take us out if we let the fear get to us. See, the thing is that with every roller coaster that they make, as scary as it looks, they're meant to be conquered. They're designed to overcome. And when you overcome, you actually come off stronger. Now, just like me, for a lot of people, you can talk yourself out of overcoming what, honestly, God has placed for you to overcome because you're just so fearful. And like I said, a lot of the fear comes from not knowing what lies ahead. Now, you can't scare yourself out of going through certain situations or even attempting to do certain situations and then say you trust God. If you really trust God, if you really trust what He can do for you, then you'll just go for it. You'll just try it. Now, like I said, a big part of it was the support I had. The people with me made all the difference in the world for me to be able to even get on the ride and put on the straps and do this. Now, granted, I told them that I hated them on every single ride because for a moment in time I did. I hated them the entire way up and I hated them the entire way down on every drop. But the thing is that when I got off, I felt good about myself. I felt good about conquering it. I felt good about attempting it. I felt good about doing something new. And that's literally what happens when you face these fears head on, when you take the bull by the horns. You feel so good when you conquer this thing. Now, like I said, the thing that kept me going was, like I said, not only me saying that I was going to do it, but I knew for a fact that I was able to do it. I knew for a fact that I would be able to overcome these roller coasters. Now, the reason we're doing this video up here is not just because it looks cool, but when honestly, I found the reason out when we got up here. But the thing is that I look down, as I look at all these different rides, as I look at everything that I was so fearful of, it seems so small from this height. It seems like not such a big deal when you're above that, and this is literally what I would consider from God's eye view. This is how God sees things. You can see all the people, and they're doing their own thing. The people who are walking together. You see the people getting on the rides, getting off the rides. You see the twists and turns. You see everything ahead of time. The scariest thing was, I don't know what this roller coaster is going to do. I don't know how it's going to feel. I don't know what it's going to look like. I don't know where the twists are going to come. I don't know how fast it's going to go. But the thing is that God does. So you just gotta trust. That was the thing that I learned. It's like, look, I know I'm gonna have a good time. I know I can do this. So a part of it is faith. A part of it is confidence. A part of it is trust. But the biggest thing I found in all of this, my biggest conclusion, is that when it comes to facing fears, when it comes to taking things that look scary and intimidating, just like the Intimidator that I went on, full force and head on, the battle is always going to be in your mind. It always starts in your mind, because that's how you end up talking yourself out of situations. You start saying things in your mind. You start saying things that are negative about the ride. You'll say things that are negative about yourself, about past experiences. You'll start making up excuses. You'll do anything. Your body, I tell my clients all the time about something called relative flexibility, which is where the body will seek the path of the least tension or the least pressure. And honestly, that's what your flesh does, because it knows that it can't handle much. It always looks for the easiest way out. Now the spirit is so much stronger. The spirit, being in God, can handle the things that the flesh can't. So, you know, honestly, when you face your roller coasters, when you face your intimidators and your shock waves, even your drop zones, where it seems like you're up in the air and you have no idea what's going to go on, and then it seems like everything is just falling around you, you've got to step into the spirit. You've got to get outside of your head. And as hard as it might be, as much as the world will tell you, look, you got to think better, you got to think smart, you got to think, you got to think, you got to think, you have to. What I'm telling you to do is stop thinking so much. Just do. Just throw yourself in the situation and trust God. Let it play out. Let the roller coaster ride. And enjoy the drops. Enjoy the way up. And enjoy the view while you're in the midst of the roller coaster. Enjoy the ups and downs. Enjoy the circles and the upside downs. Enjoy every part of it. Learn to enjoy it. And you'll see that you get so much more out of every roller coaster that you face in your life. God bless you. I hope you get something from this. Share it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed already. If you're on Facebook, you gotta like this. You've gotta share it as well too. Go to the Streetlight Christian Project page and like it. You'll get more videos just like this. I love you. God bless you. And come to Kingdom Dominion and face your fears if you ever get the chance. Peace out.